Hey friends, happy Wednesday, the 19th of July. It's nice to take a moment and be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I will share with you a reflection on the daily readings. They're linked down below. When I'm done, I encourage you, click the link, read the readings prayerfully, and then turn off your screen. Spend some time in silence, reflection, spend some time in prayer before you move on to other things. Next week, we as a parish are hosting Vacation Bible School, Monday through Thursday in the morning, kindergarten through 5th grade, and then older students, we certainly are encouraging them to help volunteer. We'd love to have you. To register for more information, whatever, contact Michelle in the parish office. We are also looking for adults with safe environment and background check training to help us as well. Okay, we're working on the stories from the book of Exodus and Matthew's gospel today. We hear the story of the burning bush with Moses. He's out working and he is tending sheep on a random place that turns out to be Horeb, the mountain of God. And he spies a burning bush and he wants to understand it more. One of the things that I've heard is that many of the phenomenon that are described here, a bush that looks like it's on fire, or locusts and frogs and water turning blood, these describe natural phenomenon in Egypt, just amplified so much more. We actually are going to miss the plagues. They are not included in the lectionary, like super sad, right? But Moses investigates and then he has an encounter with God, a theophany. And it becomes, one of those pivotal sacred moments, not just for Moses, but for the entire people. This is the moment that God calls Moses to do great things for the entire people Israel and to lead them out of slavery and out of oppression. How is it that God has worked in your life? For some of us, there have been some profound moments of encounter and conversion. For others of us, it's just been that just daily or regular kind of change and presence and goodness of God. For all of us, we have a different sort of a story. In what ways is it that God's worked in our lives? And remember, it's not a matter of right or wrong, but it's just accepting the ways that God has moved in our own lives. How about sacred places too, right? So we talk about sacred encounters, but for the Israelites, Horeb becomes an important sort of a place. Where has God moved powerfully in our own hearts, in our own lives? Can we kind of sit with that in gratitude for the way that God uses space to change our lives? Okay. Matthew's Gospel. We have the first part of a passage that's generally included. Tomorrow we'll get, come to me all you who labor and are heavily burdened and I will give you rest. So today, Jesus speaks about the value of being childlike. Not childish, but childlike. And that God reveals God's self so often to the childlike and not necessarily to the wise and the learned, the powerful and the influential. How's the Lord calling us to be simple, humble, childlike in these days? Remember, I bring this up sometimes when we're talking about, that child placed in the midst of Jesus, and he uses it as a teaching opportunity. Don't overlook that a child is without rights in his society. A child is generally one that is kind of seen very much as a marginalized person. It's also noteworthy. It's not just humility or innocence or simplicity, but there's also an absolute dependence and a certain precariousness to life as well. How is it that Jesus might be calling us to be childlike in our trust, in our approach, in our encounter of God these days? All right. Happy Wednesday, friends. Read those readings prayerfully, even 2-3 times. Then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. God bless y'all.